Hello, welcome everybody to the Unfiltered Truth. I am your host. With me, as always, the one, the only, the incomparable, my man, Phil Jones. Phil, what's good,
Can
man?
you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yes, I
What's good,
can.
y'all? Hope you guys enjoyed your 4th of July. Hope you dodged the crazy ass fireworks celebration yesterday. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. We're back. 2 weeks away from training camp.
Yes, sir.
Time to, as they said on Step Brothers, time to fuck shit up. You feel me?
And get back to doing what we do, which is bringing you the unfiltered truth. So let's jump right in. Let's jump right into this because you see the background, you know what it is. I want to know how exactly to play this because I don't want to come across as being that guy. But I mean, Brett Farve already went there. So Brett Farve said that Davante Adams' numbers, he expects them to dip playing with the Raiders because Derek Carr is his quarterback.
Well, you want me to go and play the audio for you? I got the receipts.
Please. I just want to ask everybody, say what's up to everybody. Q, Tony, Rob, Most Hated.
Yo.
All you brothers, what's up? Welcome to the show. But I'm giving you a second there. But
okay.
I just got a question, and to me, it's like, what do you do? What do you say when when the guy that you pattern your playing style after comes out and says that the best receiver in football, technically according to PFF, the second best receiver in football, his stats, his numbers are going to dip because he's playing with you? Now the reason why I asked that question is because it's like this is a unique situation in which you very rarely do you see a pro quarterback playing with his college receiver.
You ready?
Literally the two guys that got each other to the league.
Here we go.
Please, sir.
See if it was Aaron who was making Davante better, because it seems like Aaron makes every wide receiver better that catches the ball.
Yeah, no disrespect to Davante at all. Zero disrespect. But you're right. I do think that Davante will make Derek Carr better, and in time they will be a dynamic duo. Now, will it be the duo that Aaron and Davante had? Time will tell. I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback, but he's not in Aaron's league. Yeah, it may never be, and that's no disrespect either. But I do think that Davante owes a great deal of gratitude to Aaron and the Packers drafting him. That's not to say he's not a great player, because he is a tremendous player, and we'll see that with, I almost said Oakland, with Las Vegas. But it's just hard to shift gears, especially from a player as prolific as Aaron Rodgers. I'd be shocked if he had the same year he's had in previous years. That's not.
Now, I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I'm not gonna choose any side. I'm gonna stay right in the middle of things. So, this goes off of the time that he's been around Aaron and what he's seen around with these two, I will say. But then you also have to look at the amount of work that Derek Carr and Davante Adams have been putting in over the past few months since the trade got done. And now these guys have played in college for what? I think it was about 4 or 5 years, I'll say.
I think it was 4.
About 4 years, okay.
Yeah.
So, again, it does take a little bit of time to get back in the sync with the guy that you were throwing to back in college, and that's nothing wrong. That's normal. I don't think that it's going to be like Davante Adams is going to have a decline. Because I'm going to tell you this. If you've seen Derek Carr is going to throw it to his man and say, in the name of Jesus, I'm going to find you, brother. He's going to throw it up to him. Now, you saw how many amount of targets that he threw over the years to, like, let's say, like Jared Cook or Darren Wall or even Hunter Renfrow. He's going to get it to him. And it's going to be a large amount of targets. So I don't see how that's going to be a steep decline from what Aaron and Davante Adams had. Will it be the exact? Maybe. Will it be within that range? Yes. I'm not going to say it's going to be a deep. When I hear decline, I think it's going to be like some half-ass drop. Now you ready to say? I know you ready to jump and say something.
Ball placement.
Yeah.
What I will say that's going to be interesting to see is that we're going in this particular style of offense that he's running. A lot of it is option routes, check downs, and being on the same page as your wide receivers and precision. It's also going to be a question of where does the ball get placed, because receivers have to be able to catch the ball in stride and continue on in order to maximize the timing and the windows. Otherwise, if they're reaching back, you break up their momentum and you take what could have been a truly marvelous play and just make it a good play. Now, the Raiders can good play all the way down the field, but in order to take that next step and for those numbers to be what they were, which is what basically Brett Farve was saying, and while how it got packaged, you could see that it did come into a diss, but that's really not what he was trying to do. But the comparison to Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr is a fair one.
But
once you take away Davante Adams, then all of a sudden things become equal. You can see if Aaron Rodgers can put up those type of numbers with the same type of receiving core that Derek Carr did, and if Derek Carr can put up the same type of passing numbers that Aaron Rodgers put up with Davante Adams, with a tight end, with a slot receiver, with a couple of stable of running backs, an offensive line that's pretty good, and a coaching scheme who's semi competent in modern NFL and knows how to do more than take a plotting approach to offense. Yeah. So all of those things have to be factored in. On paper, it's easy to say that Carr's not Aaron Rodgers. How many NFL players have we heard say that Carr's like a baby Rodgers?
A lot.
A lot of them have.
Even one of Brett Farve and Aaron Rodgers' former targets.
Yeah. Jordy Nelson.
James Jones.
Jared Cook. So it's more of that preseason hyperbole said, and let's be real, as his backup, Brett Favre has a personal affinity for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not gonna trash his man and say that Tay is gonna go out and start balling out with the Raiders because he left Aaron Rodgers.
I think, to be honest, Phil, I think this was blown out of proportion. I think folks were just looking to make a story out of nothing because we're in a dry stretch, and I need everybody to understand this is a dry stretch. Okay. And it's funny as hell because I'm going to be real. People shouldn't be getting worried about what Brett Farve is saying and just worried about what we have in front of us and what we need to do going forward. everybody thinks, oh, nobody talks about the Raiders. Nobody talks about the Raiders. Damn it, we literally have NFL Network with David Carr, the brother of Derek Carr. You have James Jones that played with Derek Carr. And you're saying nobody talks about the Raiders. That's a little bit of horse shit. I think that's cap. And Phil, I'm sorry, bro, but when I keep hearing that they're not getting favoritism or this and that, I mean, you have to understand. You have a Josh McDaniels, when you last saw him as a head coach, didn't work out in Denver. When he was supposed to be another head coach for Indianapolis, he walked away from that. So there's always going to be those question marks put on your back. You're looking at a whole new system. Nobody knows how that's going to turn out. There's question marks, yes. But then I also get where people are saying, well, why the fuck are we trying to hear them try to crown the Broncos or the Chargers? The Broncos get an all-pro quarterback, a Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl and all-pro quarterback added to that roster, because that was the one thing the Broncos didn't have. They didn't have a quarterback to save their life for shit. Now, can that defense still be the same? I don't know. Can that offense still be the same? We don't know. Now, am I going to crown their asses? Fuck no. Hell no. I'm not crowning their asses. They're going into the unknown just like we are. Same with the Chargers. Chargers loaded up, throwing money everywhere, get J.C. Jackson. They end up getting Khalil Mack. And everybody's like, yo, they got those two major impact players on defense. You don't know where Khalil Mack's kneecaps are. And we don't know J.C. Jackson's going to actually fit that system in Los Angeles. So,
if I may, I've had the benefit of sitting here listening to you speak about our divisional opponents and how we've been crowning their ass, and nobody's been speaking about the Raiders. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that nobody generates buzz like Raider Nation.
Yeah.
Negative publicity spreads much faster than positivity. And whenever you can give the Raiders some notoriety, it'll spread from sea to signing sea like a wildfire. So, everybody loves to forget the fact that the Raiders won 10 games and made the playoffs. They returned nearly their entire, they upgraded their receiving core and returned nearly every single one of their starters, save for their backup reserve linemen who weren't supposed to play last year anyway, who ended up playing by necessity. Andre James has gained weight, gained strength, gotten bigger, which was everybody's number one issue with him after they switched from the zone blocking scheme to the gap scheme. Cole Miller's rock solid. Brandon Parker and Alex Leatherwood are in competition for right tackle, and we're going to see who's made the strides that they had to and who did not. And as Kevin said, now before we even get to talking about the Los Angeles Chargers,
he chose violence.
The Los Angeles Chargers, remember, all of those additions that they add are not going to cancel out your coach's stupid decisions in the clutch.
Exactly.
Nobody on the field is going to stop your coach from going for on defense is going to stop your coach from going for it on offense on fourth down, not making it and leaving your defense hung out to dry when he had an opportunity to give the defense 40 more yards to have to defend in order to give up points. There's a lot of coaching mismanagement that's gone on with the Los Angeles Chargers that caused them to fall where they were. There's a huge problem with catching the football. Justin Herbert has led the league. The Chargers have led the league in drop passes for the last 2 years in a row. And it's not by a little, it's by a wide margin. And they still have the very same receivers who are out there dropping these very same balls. These guys that haven't been upgraded that we are so worried about that they're going to come out and he's just got these guys to work with. The Denver Broncos. Didn't they lose Tim Patrick? No, he's still there.
No, he's still there.
Yeah. They gave up the tight end, but their quarterback was their big issue. It was. And their defensive line. DJ Jones is probably going to have a larger impact with him and Shelby Harris up the middle than Russell Wilson will as the quarterback. Because we've been getting by on Denver running straight up the gut for years. And DJ Jones was an anchor to the Niners run defense and a collapser to pocket coming up the middle. And so I would say as Shelby Harris came on last year and finally flashed all the potential or put together all the potential that he flashed as a Raider.
Can I say something real quick? You going back to them fucking drops. Mike Williams, 6 drops. Keenan Allen, how many drops? 8. 1, 2,
and those
3,
are the ones that we counted. Because it's near impossible to record a drop in the NFL.
See, now you made me pull into like the technical notes. Technically speaking, Keenan Allen should have had 10. They took 2 away from him. Now that's a lot of fucking drops. What y'all buttering them balls?
Like I said, Kevin, the DJ Jones is going to help a lot. Said he's going to help a lot against the run. Is he going to help with the 30 points that they're giving up? Probably not. But I imagine if he'll slow down the play action, which could have been causing them problems. But you go back to the Denver head coach has never called a play in his life. Who's his offensive coordinator? But all of a sudden, we're expecting Russell Wilson to come in and save the day with a new coach, a new scheme, a new play caller. And when I say new, I mean a guy who's never done it before. So Russell Wilson is coming in to be that guy. We're looking at him to be Peyton Manning 2.0. Is that what we're expecting out of Russell Wilson, whose legs suddenly look like they weigh about 50 to 60 pounds apiece? And he's failing to get away from edge rushers like he once used to. And oh, by the way, the Raiders happen to pick up Chandler Jones, pick up Chandler Jones, the guy who sacked Russell Wilson more than anybody else in his career.
Assaulted Russell Wilson.
On his ass. I'll say it. On his ass.
Hold up. First off,
living a good life. Living my best life.
First and foremost, who the fuck is the Broncos defensive coordinator?
I don't know who their whole coaching staff is, to be honest with you.
I asked a question. Who is this man? Who is this man? Ejiro Evero.
Who?
Exactly. You know this man was here. He was the Rams defensive passing game coordinator.
Ooh.
The safeties coach. Defensive quality coach for the Packers in 2016. With the Niners, the defense assistant, offensive assistant. I don't want to hear shit about the goddamn Broncos. I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit.
The man could be a genius coming together with a team nobody's ever seen.
Y'all said that shit about Jason Tarver. I'll throw a brick at y'all. Crown their asses. Crown these nuts. I said it.
Crown them like teeth. What up? What up? And Al's got it right. I mean, it gets everybody in an uproar. Everybody's blood's boiling. They're passing it around. It's getting clicks. It's getting like you guys are your own worst enemy. You want to see the media stop talking bad about the Raiders? Stop responding to it when they do. Well, the moment it stops registering clicks and moving the needle will be the second they stop doing it. Trust me.
Nah, fuck this shit. I don't want to hear the fact that you had to bring Dom Capers' old ass back. Listen, you had to bring Don Capers as your senior defensive assistant. So you know how that defense is going to look, right? That shit's going to get exposed. They're going to be asking for the Me Too movement for that damn defense. That defense about to get shredded. Dom Capers in that fucking defense, there were so many holes it wasn't even funny back when he was with Green Bay. So it's going to get exposed again if he tries to put his input on it. But your defensive coordinator, Evero, what?
3-4 guys who blitzes alive.
But again, it's going to get exposed. It's going to get exposed.
And them linebackers are not that great. They are not that great at all. But if you finish with them, I'd like to continue to the last team in the
I won't finish with them hoes.
Okay, and so I am sad that right now that Hefe is nowhere to be found while I get ready to disparage his tribal chiefs. The Chiefs.
Oh, we about to shred Deliverance?
The Chiefs. Travis Kelce is about to enjoy the worst season of his career since he got on and became a good player. Why is that? Because he is going to suffer from all of this, from a lack of all the space that was created by Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was more than just a speed receiver. Tyreek Hill was a return man who learned how to run routes and run routes correctly, catch the football, and be every bit of explosive with the ball in his hands as he would be on punt and kick returns, which he still continued to do all the way now, which he'll do in Miami. But his speed, his explosiveness, his playmaking ability is something that you can't just go to the lab, clone, and just get out of somebody else. Now, Sky Moore is going to be a wild card, but he's still a rookie. Now, he's got the speed, but does he have the raw playmaking ability that Hill had? That'll remain to be seen. This is a different level. He's got to step up. He's got to do it at this level now instead of in college in one of the off colleges.
No, because here's the thing. Is he willing to be physical? Now, Tyreek Hill, I will admit, he was willing to be physical.
Yes.
And he knock his ass around like a little rat. But other than that, can Sky Moore do the same thing? And that's the major question right there.
MVS is a straight line speed guy. Yes, he's fast, but if you can bump him, make him have to stop, reset his feet, all that speed goes away. He becomes just a regular guy because he's straight line speed only, and he has to reach it. It's not an instant explosion. So you talking about Juju? Juju's not running away from anybody. Juju is looking to be the ultimate chain moving receiver, running underneath everybody else who's getting open. Your Mecole Hardmans, or your MVSs, all the guys that they're trying to use for the speeds on verticals to open up space for Kelce. Kelce is just not. It's just not going to be the same for him. And these other guys that are on this team are all capable of being covered man.
Phil.
And not only that, but I'll say this, and this will be. I expect Patrick Mahomes to have a down year as well, because a big arm is only as good as the speed that he's throwing to. And if nobody can match the speed of Tyreek Hill, nobody can take the top off the defense quite like he did, then it doesn't matter how hard he can throw the football if his receiver can't get to it.
Oh. Well, damn.
And a lot of these short passes are not going to go long distances like you saw last year because these other guys are not Tyreek Hill.
That's true.
So I'm not going to sit here and try to confuse you or goad you guys into thinking that the Chiefs offense is going to suck, because it won't. There will be adjustments made. They'll still be able to score points and they'll still be able to do some things, but it won't be like it was. And the Raiders as constructed are constructed in a way specifically to beat the Chiefs. Now, the one thing that does worry me, I saw somebody talking about, I think it was Kevin talking about McDaniels versus the Chiefs D. I don't like McDaniels versus Steve Spagnuolo. In fact, Steve Spagnuolo has been the one that has stymied McDaniels in the Super Bowl multiple times.
But he ain't got the same guys that he had in the Super Bowl.
And McDaniels don't have the same quarterback either.
That may be true. But if I can continue to run the ball on that ass, something that Spagnuolo still cannot stop. Because what was the one thing that stopped the Chiefs from even making it to the Super Bowl the first time?
Pressure up the middle.
They couldn't stop the run.
I think it was more pressure up the middle, but I got you on the other side. It was the run. Although they managed to tighten up that run defense magnificently in the playoffs when they needed to do it the most.
You know what? I'm willing to bring that shit back up. You know, I'm evil. I'm ready to start some violence.
We're not gonna encourage the Chiefs to do anything of the sort, BK. I'd like them to continue to run the zone, run sideways, and do all that other stuff that is not the most efficient use of their talent. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Well, the one thing.
Day one. I've been high on Raiders running back room, says truly Tony Banks. Somewhere a truly got its wings and he's toasting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They couldn't even stop that shit.
Graham tore up the entire AFC West. It wasn't just the Chiefs. It wasn't just the Chargers. He did it to us. And then what they did to the Broncos was what they did to the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos didn't have no quarterback, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is that the Giants didn't have great players in the secondary. So he did it purely off scheme and coverage and being a defensive master.
Yeah. All you gotta do is run that fucking ball up their throats. Run the fucking ball. That's all you gotta do. What's Buffalo's main problem? Why they couldn't beat Kansas City? They couldn't run the fucking football. Now, what can we do? What can we do?
Run.
We run the ball and knock they dicks in the dirt. We run the ball and knock the dicks in the fucking dirt. That's simple, right? See, that's the one thing we were getting away from when we kept playing Kansas City the first time around. Now, that second go around, and you did all that extra shit, you know, well, you know. But the point of it is, if you're able to run on Kansas City, and that's still the same fucking problem, Phil. The same problem. Because let's go back to the Bengals.
Montgomery looked like a poor man's Thermal Thomas.
God dang.
Well, considering his name was Thurman, that definitely looks bad. But I wouldn't even give him that. Montgomery and Thurman Thomas are nowhere near the same type of running backs. They don't have the same style. And Montgomery in any type of a power capacity, and he's slow. He's slow. And that's what I'm looking forward to a lot, Kevin, is that, and I've touched on this as we were remarking about recapping the story about the offense sending themselves for laps because they got down in the red zone and practice during the OTA and started screwing up. There was, from the sound of that, it sounded like there was no consequence for mistakes. And when there's no consequence for mistakes in practice, you get the lackluster effort and attention to detail that cost them so many times in the goal line, in the red zone during the games. And what did they do? Line up, run the same play over again, which is probably exactly what they were doing in practice. Yeah. Any word on Cole and Robinson? They love Cole. Robinson's going to have to make it show what he can do.
You're number 4.
Okay, I saw it. I saw you asked. There's just that's it.
Yeah.
Training camps in 2 weeks. Nobody's even in the building. I mean, what you want me to tell you, bro? He looked good. He looked good out there at the park running in the desert against air with no defense.
Yeah. I'm just be real. Don't get hyped over the shit that they doing out in the fucking parking lot or at the playground.
The best thing about the playground, the best thing about the playground routes that you would want to see them do is make sure that everybody walks off that field okay.
Yeah, because
that's the only thing that matters.
You won't get put on that PUP list.
Mm-mm.
You doing that shit on your own time. But I mean, really, the expectation for the Raiders coming into this year, I mean, shit, let's be real.
AFC West
we can just keep saying it over and over and over again. That man, Derek Carr, got a whole fucking holy trinity. You got a holy trinity up in this joint.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 good wide receivers. One's the best in the NFL. One's a top up and coming. And then you got arguably one of the top tight ends. So, again, there ain't no motherfucking excuse. I shouldn't hear shit. I shouldn't hear, well, I'm going to just say this, we've been playing with chips and this and that and all on the shoulder. No. All you got to be, and like you said, you got to be disciplined this year. They come out, they're disciplined. That's the success they're going to get. Now, training camp, going in as your starters, we already know. Carr, Jacobs, Johnson, Adams, Renfro, Cole, Waller, Miller, James, your starting center. I'm going to say Leatherwood at right tackle. I can't believe I'm saying this shit, but it looks like it's going to happen.
Currently, that's where it sits.
Parham at right guard. And then Illuminor at left guard. Your D-line, you're going to have Jones, Crosby at the outside D-end. You're going to have Hankins at D-tackle. I believe you're going to actually have Nichols. Yeah, Nichols going to also be the other D tackle. Perriman, Young, Brown. That's going to be your linebackers going in. Averett, Yasin, Hobbs. Those are going to be your corners going in. And then you're also going to have Duran and Morey as your safeties. And you already know your kick squad: AJ Cole, Carlson, and Trent Seed.
Yep.
So that's what you're going in with. That's your starters right there.
No, we've pretty much established that. So it's going to take a mini miracle from somebody on the bench to displace those guys. They're going to have to come in and be head and shoulders above them. Now, as to answer this guy, and I'll go down the list because there's a bunch that I saw that were. So far, as of what we've been told, Jacobs and Drake will be ready to go at the start of training camp. And with a new regime, this is not quite going to be while we are load managing Josh Jacobs, he's still going to have to earn his job and prove himself. It's a new system, a new coaching staff, and being babied along isn't what this particular regime does. If you can't go, you get replaced. That's what happens. Not we're going to sit you off to the side and baby you along and keep you fresh. That's not iron sharpens iron in this with these new Raiders, and that's the way that it should be. Now, I'm not going to offer any excuses. I don't want to hear about excuses. I want to think about excuses because there shouldn't be any excuses. This team is set up for success. They're coming off of success. We can't even call last season a failure.
No.
I had to stop and think about that. With everything that went on, with all the adversity, they still won double-digit games. They got to the playoffs and had a strong showing in the wild card game. That was a success. This team is going to build off of last year's success with better coaching, better skill position players, and a better scheme. And a far superior attention to detail, because the little things are what wins games in the NFL, because football is a game of inches. And so when you look at that, all of those things put together, the defense that we were just talking about, Patrick Graham coming in and knowing exactly how to shut down the teams in our division and making it happen with a collection of talent that nobody was overly impressed with when you just look at it on paper.
Yeah, he didn't even have a damn pass rush.
No, he didn't, except for Leonard Williams.
That's about it. Yes. No,
that's a bunch of bullshit. I know you. Yes, we'll get to that. You'll hear he's not the same if it starts going bad, but those will be the same people that'll tell you that you're watching great football that just happens to be losing. John Davis said, I think this is the best team we've had in a long time. Defensively, it still needs some work to get there, but on offense, it's a question that I've been asking is, name me a better one. When have we had a team that was better at the skill position than what we have currently? I'll wait. The first team that comes up to mind is the 01-02 team that went to the bowl. That's your first comparison, which puts you in pretty good space, puts you in a pretty good spot that you already know right off the bat. You're talking about a team that was capable of Super Bowl level talent, ultimately Hall of Fame level talent.
Phil, I'll take it back a notch. I compare it to the team that John had back in 99? They were blowing niggas out and shit. I compare it to that group.
I think I probably have the 2000 team, the one that was going, that probably would have went to the Super Bowl and beat the Giants until the goose fell on Rich Gannon.
Yeah, that
Separated.
2010. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
That's the one that I'd be talking about.
motherfucker.
When they was destroying everybody.
Hey, they weren't letting the brakes off a nigga. They were just saying, fuck that nigga. And see, that's going to be the difference about this staff. They don't let the brakes off of people. They don't.
Or they're letting them keep them. You got to beat the brakes off of the ops. The ops get no love, no consideration, no compassion, nothing until the game is over. Then you could tell them, I bet that hurts because I know that I was coming with hostile intent when I gave it to you.
Yeah. Truly, yeah. No, you're right. Nobody needs to stick the damn chest out. Really, they shouldn't be sticking the chest out right now. September, October, November, December. I don't hear shit until January.
We don't we don't see nothing that goes down until the last 5 weeks of the season, because the last 7 really, but the last 3 weeks of the season in January is when it's real hardcore.
Because look how many teams were doing that shit early on. Let's say them chokers, them Chargers, shit, we can say the Ravens. Everybody was like, oh yeah, they got their playoff spot secured. They got that spot secured. And then come all the way to the final week. Motherfuckers were choking and lost their playoff spots. So again, until the clock strikes 12 and the season is officially done, if you ain't above 500, we got a problem. You should be above 500 this year.
There is no more 500. Okay. 500 is a myth, no longer obtainable, a mathematical improbability.
Carr always saying we need to get better. Is it getting old? It's not getting old. I mean,
it's the truth.
You want to get better. You want to keep doing. You want to do the next best thing. Like, well, you know, we did good at this, but I think we can go a little bit better with that. We were good with our pass blocking right here, but I think if we work a little bit on this, we can create more time in the pocket. Or, hey, run blocking look better than last year. I think we can go even better and just open up the floodgate and just run right through. Just spread it. But I do want to say this real quick. Hold up. I know. Yes, they will be on the outside. Anthony Averett will be your outside corner, and Rock Yasin. I like saying that name. That I might just get that motherfucker. I might get his damn jersey. Rock Yasin.
Rock Yasin.
Girl, I'm here to rock it with Yasin.
No.
Shut up. I know it was corny. I had to do it. I couldn't help myself. But yeah, they'll be your outside corners. And again, you'll have Hobbs on the inside. With Patrick Graham's defense, he's going to try to get a lot of the DBs on the field at the same time. So it's going to be special. It's going to be exciting. So just wait and see.
They need to be 12-5. If they can't get to 12-5, they can't win this division.
Fuck all that. You gotta be better.
13-4 would be ideal. What is it? 17-0 would be great. Phenomenal. But the real rush is to 20 victories. 20 victories means you win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So let's set that number at 20. Whatever that number is at the end of it is okay with me as long as we end with 20.
I could go for that. I could definitely go for that one. But the one thing, my sights going into camp is this offensive line with the 2 guard position and right tackle.
The beauty of it is that all the things that we've heard doesn't mean anything until the pads come on.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. But again, that's where you want to have your eyes at. Everybody's like, oh, let's look at the wide receivers. Oh, let's look at the daggone cornerback battles. I want to see what's going on in that fucking trench. Because what were some of the problems we had? Stopping the run inside. When it came to the side of the ball. Opening up the holes for the running game.
Well, that in the zone blocking scheme, they never seem to have a problem with the gap.
Again, I want to make sure that we're good. I want to make sure we're good.
Comes down to coaching, absolutely.
Yeah. So we can jump and scream like, oh, hey, yeah, we got this. Oh, hey, we got this. And then something else comes up. We're like, nope. So all eyes, your spotlights in camp of who you want to see improve, definitely Alex Leatherwood. Who's going to be taking the left guard position, or left guard and right guard, because you could put Parham at the left guard position or the right. But I like him on that right side. Damn. Damn it, Tony. Boy, you preaching to the choir, because I was losing my mind off that shit.
We'll be stronger in the second half of the season. They got over that hurdle last year. Yes, they did, and that was a key one. That is one that had plagued them the previous 3 years before that, because coming down the stretch, they had nothing left. Everybody, but that's also the benefit of the youth of their roster. Now they got guys who are physically capable of handling that grind and that continuation of season.
Yeah, because them motherfuckers were fighting for their lives.
Their very lives.
Every week they're hearing the same old damn excuse. You know what? They got past that. With everything that went on, they got past it.
And let's stop and let's give them. And as we talk bad about the coaching staff and what they didn't do, let's give a moment of credit to Rich Bisaccia. He went out there with no experience, never been a play caller, working with Greg Olson as his play caller, and took a team that had just lost its best wide receiver or most productive wide receiver and proceeded to make the playoffs. And with probably the roughest season that a coach has ever had to deal with, at least that we know about. Now, there was always what they were doing over in New England with their players but he got this team over the hump, and because he was able to get that team over the hump, I see no reason why Josh McDaniels, who's orchestrated a dynastic offense, should have any troubles taking this complement of players that he has and making something of them.
Yeah. You got a point. Whoo.
Got it done. Got it done. At the end of that statement, you put "got it done." Said that we're not going to take away from the team when they went out there and they made it happen, overcame through thick and thin when everybody else would have folded up and went home. They finally let them two nuts dangle low, drag on the ground, and acted like, what would Bill Romanowski call them, some goddamn boar hunters?
Goddamn boar hunters. I'll tell you that, bro. Boar hunters.
said didn't abandon the run the last 4 games of the season. 5 actually. They had Jacobs averaging 91 a game.
Yeah.
And suddenly went on a winning streak. Go figure. You run the football successfully, you win football games. That's earth-shattering right there. Never been done before.
You know, that's going to be the new background, homie.
The new background.
The Holy Trinity.
Ooh, this ought to be good. Oh, you missing your guy, though.
Who? Oh, bro, I was done with that shit. We already know he going back to
He going to Phoenix.
Nah, bro. He going back to the Warriors.
Don't need him.
Going back to the Warriors. He said he coming home.
It's all right. Y'all can have Kyrie, LeBron, and Russell.
Nah. I don't want to ever see Russell and Lakers gear again.
47.5. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I got tonight. You got something else?
All I can say is bravo Tony on the damn Senate block joke. God damn. Cause damn, now I'm thinking about this shit. I'm like, shit.
I was speechless. That's guaranteed to block everything. Everything. I miss a block. Not one.
He said the Senate gonna block that shit.
Nobody blocks anything like Mitch McConnell.
Man, that old line wouldn't have given up a damn sack. I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I promise you.
I had to do it. But other than that, Phil, that's pretty much it for me. Ladies and gents, enjoy the rest of your week. We 2 weeks away from training camp, baby. Let's just hope someone don't hit me with the, were you there, Phil? Were you there?